Bienvenidos, friends, to the high ground, where we talk movies and TV. I'm Tina, joined by the handsome Henry.
Hey.
And today we're excited for today's video because we're starting a new video series called Top 5 Face Off, where we list our top 5 favorites from a variety of topics and pit them against each other. Then you, our lovely audience, can judge and decide which list is the best.
Mine. A reminder, these are our personal favorites, so of course we may not have the best of the best, but definitely let us know what you think of our lists in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and share with your buds.
Now, today's topic for our first top 5 face-off is, just in time for Valentine's Day, our top 5 favorite romantic movies to watch during the season of love. Henry's going to start us off with his number 5 favorite romantic movie.
Coming in at number 5, The Wedding Singer.
Ooh.
Yeah, great movie.
Great movie.
Introduced us to one of the power couples of the rom-com, and that is Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. This movie was a staple in the VH1 MTV era.
Yeah.
Anytime that I would see it on the television, I would just immediately put it on. The chemistry that Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore showed in that movie catapulted them to another stratosphere when it came to their stardom. So much so that this wasn't the only rom-com they've been in. They've been in multiple. They've been, I believe, in 3.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it has one of the best chase after the girl sequences that I could remember. Probably started a few of the cliches that we know very well, and that's
For sure.
Adam Sandler chasing Drew Barrymore's character all the way to Las Vegas to realize that they're on the same damn plane. And he just serenades her, and it's just one of the most beautiful songs that just touches your soul.
Yeah, it's so cute.
And you just want to grow old with them. Even though you're just watching their lives together, it really makes you feel like you went on this journey with them, of them finding each other, realizing that they're in love, and then following through with it.
Aww.
So it was very, very beautiful.
I love that movie. That's a great number 5.
Great number 5.
My number 5 also has a chase the girl onto the airplane scene. It's a bit more modern. I like more modern movies. My number 5 is Crazy Rich Asians. I wanted to start off with Crazy Rich Asians because I think it's one of those movies that I can rewatch over and over again. It's so playful, like between super sweet moments that give me goosebumps and make my heart jump to moments that have me laughing out loud, crying, and dying on the floor. I love the entire cast, especially the 2 leads. They just have such amazing chemistry, and I think they can juggle their emotions so well. The really heartfelt moments, they just have such beautiful faces that like put you in that moment with them. It's so beautiful, like especially that wedding scene. I think that's everyone's favorite scene in that movie. It's so cute.
100%.
I remember it being such a big deal too, because of course this cast is entirely Asian, and I felt like it was so important to encourage everyone to go watch it in theaters, to support this movie, to support the cast, so that we can get more of it. Not only is it adorable and sweet, but it's super funny and just monumentous, I think, because of its cast.
100%. I agree. It really catapulted this type of cast to become more mainstream, right? And you can see it through the years after that. A lot more minority-centric films have taken the forefront after this movie has released. So great choice, darling. Great. With my number 4, to keep it a little bit more on the animated sequence, I'm going with arguably Pixar's best film, and that's Wally.
Ooh.
Hasn't there been said about Wally? It's adorable, it's cute, it has a great meaning of environment and taking care of the land that you live on, but the romance between Wally and Eva, just him falling in love at first sight and her not caring about him because she's there for the directive. She's here for a reason. She's not here to fall in love. But you just can't help but to fall in love with Wally.
Yes.
He chases her to the literally ends of the universe to make sure that she is safe and that he, expresses his love to her. And one of my favorite sequences is when Eva is in her sleep mode and he's just trying to hold her hand or something, or
so adorable.
just taking care of her, making sure she goes outside every now and then. Like just those little small scenes just show how much Wally really cares. And it's not only for Eva, Wally is just a caring character.
Yes, and he's experiencing love for the first time. Because Wally has always seen those special moments on TV. And he's kind of recreating that because that's how he feels. It's so cute.
It's so adorable. And it's timeless. You can watch this movie at any time and it'll be a fantastic watch. Arguably Pixar's best film. Great choice. Thank you. That's my number 4.
My number 4 is Crazy Stupid Love. It's fun, heartwarming, romantic, and super funny. I feel like I might have a theme for my movies because I really like lighthearted films. That's just what I gravitate to, what makes me feel good inside, you know. But Crazy Stupid Love has such a great cast all around. Great job at being funny and genuine and relatable. I think that's what's my favorite part about Crazy Stupid Love is that their stories are so relatable and they intertwine so well too. I mean, you experience that stupid love when you're in middle school
100%
where you don't realize, I think, the impacts of what you're doing, or you make stupid decisions, and then you also experience a super hot steamy love with Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone that just sparks something exciting in you, right? You realize that you already know what you like and you know what you want, and I love that they go for each other. But then you get Steve Carell's story that, you know, marriage is really hard and tough, and it doesn't always work out. And so that's what I love most about the movie, the various stages of life and how love can look differently. Again, Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling do an amazing job. I think they're the best part of the film. And so I can watch Crazy Stupid Love every year for Valentine's Day. I think it's just one of those that you can always put on the TV.
100%. Have it on in the background. You know you're going to have a couple laughs. You're going to have a couple tears towards the end. And
definitely. Some great shirtless shots of Ryan Gosling. Come on.
That's what we're all here for. My number 3 is 10 Things I Hate About You. One of the pinnacle high school romance movies that has ever been released. With one of the best acting performances by Heath Ledger, in my opinion.
Of course.
Obviously, one of the top actors while he was alive, Heath Ledger always came out and performed, but there was just something so charming about his character in 10 Things I Hate About You that even as you're watching Kat, who is the main female lead, you can sense that she just has some sort of like, she's just bottled in, doesn't want to show who she really is.
She's got a wall.
Yeah, she has a bunch of walls set up, and you just can't help what you're seeing it through her eyes that you're gonna break down those walls for Heath Ledger because goddamn, that man is charismatic throughout this whole movie.
Absolutely, his smirks, the
way he just stares into the camera, dude. I was falling in love with him, of course, man.
Yeah, it's great.
And it has a famous scene where he serenades Kat at the soccer field, sings to her, "I can't take my eyes off of you," and at that point, I was like, damn, I think I'm gonna propose to this guy right now. So. 10 Things I Hate About You. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, highly recommended to check it out. Definitely in my top 3.
And it's probably, I think, one of the top best high school romantic movies out there.
Yeah.
It does such a great job, I think, at exploring like youth and how you're still realizing who you are, but also what kind of love you deserve and what kind of love you can put out there, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Because they show different aspects of like, oh, he was in it for the money, and then he gets to know Kat, and then he realizes, oh, okay, I actually really like her, and then obviously things go awry because it's a high school movie.
Of course.
Things will come to the light, and it just concludes, and it really puts it in a nice bow towards the end of the movie that you just walk out or turn off the TV just feeling happy that you watched that.
Yeah, and it's a definitely timeless movie.
Oh, 100%. You can put this on 20 years from now, and it'll still be relatable to the audience.
Absolutely. Okay, speaking of timeless, my number 3 is a period piece.
Oh.
But it's one that I think any woman out there is going to have on their favorite romantic movies list. And that is Pride and Prejudice, 2005 Keira Knightley version, because there's a bunch of versions out there.
So many of them. There's a lot of Pride. There's a lot of Prejudice.
there's a lot. This is a guilty pleasure of mine, as I think it is for many, many women. I'm no different, okay? Watching Pride and Prejudice really takes me back to being a kid, because that's when I first watched it. And I remember watching it the first time, loving it so much that I rewatched it the next day. Because it's just beautiful. Like, the camera work, I think the scenery, the images, just the photos, the dialogue, the music, like it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous film. I love the way the story is told in Lizzie's point of view and how we experience this like love-hate relationship, enemies to lovers trope.
Oh, you love that one.
I love that trope, and they do it so well because we see Lizzie's walls. She also has a lot of boundaries around her because she's so independent and fierce. We see her start breaking those down slowly, but surely they break down to Mr. Darcy showing his love and his obsession, you could say, through acts of kindness towards her family. And so Mr. Darcy also has his own struggles, and we see his obsession become just flat out crazy. Like he doesn't know what to do with himself. And I love that because sometimes you don't realize that you're falling in love until you're so frustrated. Like, why do I keep thinking about this person? And you realize that moment when you do realize that you're in love, it's freaking gorgeous. And when the two characters come together to express their love to each other, I think it's just one of the most beautiful scenes out there. And it ends so gorgeously as well, with both of them having a happy ending. I love it. It makes me want to cry.
Tears are almost coming down your eyes right now as you're talking about
it. I can't wait to watch it again.
For my number 2, as we're closing off this list, number 2 and number 1 could have been very interchangeable for me.
Okay.
Both were very impactful in the formation of my understanding of what love is and how I see it currently. But making the tough decision, my number 2 is Love and Basketball. This movie is filmed like a basketball game. It's cut into 4 quarters, where you find Q and Monica in their childhood in the first quarter as they become friends, get to know each other because they're neighbors.
Yeah.
Then you cut to them in high school where there is this like best friends, but you kind of know there's something there, but they don't really act on it because they've only seen each other as, that's my neighbor, we play basketball together.
Right.
So towards the end of that second quarter where they get together and move into college, which is the third quarter, and then they start, having that relationship of being boyfriend, girlfriend, trying to traverse the difficulties of being a student athlete and Q being so popular and like being like, oh, this guy's gonna make it to the NBA.
Yeah.
So everybody wants a paycheck. So there's always a bunch of girls throwing themselves at him.
Everyone wants a piece of that.
Exactly. To where Q doesn't know how to handle his personal life, where his parents are going through a divorce that he ends up taking it out on Monica.
Yeah.
And they end up splitting ways and going into the fourth quarter, which is their professional lives, where Monica becomes the more successful basketball player, and Q has to,
deal with that too.
Deal with that as well, on top of being injured and his NBA career not going the way that he wished it could have gone.
And he realizes who should have been there with him through it all, right?
Yeah. And I think it was a very great way of ending the film, of playing one-on-one, and the way Monica, they kind of say, well, Q asks Monica, well, what are we playing for?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, for your heart.
For your heart. We're playing for love.
Yeah. And it was such a great way to end the movie. Obviously, they end up getting together towards the end of it, happy ending, and it just stuck with me. And also one of the best soundtracks in a film, period.
Definitely.
So much baby making music in that album. It's so good.
It's a great film. Like you're saying, like the fact that we see the progression of their relationship and how the girl next door can literally be the love of your life.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 2 is an animated film. I had to drop in an anime film because I basically exclusively watch anime at this point in my life. And this film is probably every anime fan's favorite romantic movie.
Oh.
And that is Your Name. I chose it because it's beautifully animated. It's so gorgeous. Moving score. Honestly, you can listen to this score just
in the background.
In the background, doing your daily chores, like going around town. It's just fun and so touching. But the love story itself is so beautiful. It's timeless because it's the type of love story that can transcend time and space. Makoto Shinkai is a master storyteller that really immerses you in the world, for one thing, but also in what the characters are going through. My favorite aspect of the movie is the love story, but of course the animation as well. I mean, this type of love story shows you how love can literally live inside of you, like be a part of you. Not just your heart, but your mind and body and soul and everything that touches you. When you fall in love, you know that person is your person. You're meant to be together no matter where you are or when you are. And so when the main characters see each other again years later, after experiencing such a monumental experience. I don't think you watched this movie,
I haven't
right?
seen this movie yet.
I won't spoil it. They reunite and they don't quite know if that's who they think it is, but as soon as they realize it is, it's like just fireworks come out, right? It's so beautiful. I love Your Name. It says a lot about love and how intertwined it is within you and how you're meant to be with someone. You're always going to be with that person.
That's very sweet.
Definitely watch it.
And now rounding off this list, we're coming to our number one. And my number one is just in time for the re-release of the theater version, and that is Titanic. Titanic is by far my favorite romantic movie. It has everything you could ask for. As you can see through my list, one of my main criteria is the chemistry between both leads. And Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet have that in spades. They just radiate chemistry with one another from the first scene. And you could just tell there's something there. And as the movie progresses, it grows and grows and it blossoms. And the tough thing with this is you know what the end product is going to be when the movie is called Titanic. Yes. You know how it ends. So you have that as the audience in the back of your mind, that this beautiful love is blossoming and you don't even know if they're going to be able to see it all the way through.
Right.
And on top of the romance, you have amazing action sequences that can only be done by one director, and that's James Cameron. And I think, to me, this is one of his top 2 movies
of all time
that he's ever made. Yeah, to me personally. Yeah. And it just, I was taking clips to make this video of the Titanic, and I was watering. My eyes were watering once again. Yep. And it was just, I could sit and watch this movie back to back to back, and I know it's 3 hours long, and I will take that jump every single time. It's just so beautiful. It's acted great. It's directed great. The soundtrack, the story, the backdrop, it's just all done masterfully.
Yes. It's got one of the most romantic songs tied to that movie.
100%. Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On" will be a wedding classic until we're all gone.
Yep. Whenever you hear that song, you think of Titanic. And when you think of Titanic, you hear about that song too.
Yes, exactly.
It's a great choice for your number one, darling.
Thank you.
Man, is my number one a part of your number one? My number one is La La Land. This movie instantly found a place in my heart because it takes a genre and I think elevates it, which is being a musical, right? Yeah. It's still a drama. It's still a romance. You can even still say a comedy.
Yeah.
But the musical aspect of it, I think, is what really touched me and kind of resonated with me because it was done so well. But not only is the music great, choreography great, score awesome, it's beautifully shot. Yes. It has amazing camera work and vision to the point where you don't know. It's a blend between fantasy and reality. And I think love, when you're experiencing it, you're constantly imagining what could be. Yes. What if I do it this way? What if I propose this way, right? You're always imagining what could be. And I feel like the way Damien Chazelle portrayed that with Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, who are an amazing duo. They're already in my list. Yeah. This is the second reference of them. I can just say I love their duo, their chemistry, the way they come together and create these relationships. I think it's just amazing. Like you were talking about chemistry. What I loved most about this story was how it emphasized that even when you do find that right person at that right time, someone who encourages you, supports you, someone who can stand by you, it still may not work out. And it's not because the love wasn't real or because the relationship didn't work. It was because their dreams were beyond that relationship.
Exactly.
They understood where they were, why they were there in LA. You're there to follow your dreams and your passions. And sometimes you have to do it on your own. But there's still that moment at the end where they reunite and see each other. They don't necessarily talk to each other, but in that moment where their eyes meet, it's like, again, fireworks. Like fire just, comes
reignites.
out. Yes, you know instantly that they still love each other, that they still remember their relationship, and they hold it so passionately in their hearts. I feel that end scene where, again, we're thrown into this fantasy of what if. It's just gorgeous. It's so gorgeous, and I feel like love sometimes is like that.
Yes.
It may not always end in a very happy moment, but love, no matter how you experience it or when you experience it, always resonates with you, and it's always beautiful.
It'll always be a part of
no
you.
matter what type of relationship it was. So that's my number one movie, La La Land.
Yeah, great list, darling.
Thank you. You had a great list too. I was
you.
pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I knew Love and Basketball was going to be in there for sure.
Yeah, top 5 easily. Yeah, it made you watch that movie too many times.
It's a great movie. I did not think Wally was going to be up there.
Yeah.
I don't know, wasn't expecting it. I also wasn't expecting Titanic to be up there.
Titanic number 1. Yeah, I had never had you sit through it, but it's a long commitment. It's a 3-hour movie.
I think everyone and their moms have seen Titanic,
everyone.
But it's a great film. These are great lists, I think. I definitely want to hear our audience. What did you think about our list?
Yeah.
Did you have any favorite romantic movies that didn't make it on our list? These are our personal lists, so I'm sure you have your own. Definitely drop your list in the comments so we can talk about it. We hope you have a happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, much love.
And we'll definitely come back with more top 5 face-off videos, so stay tuned. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, share with your buds so we can get some more friends in here.
Yeah, and thanks for talking movies and TV with us.
We'll catch you next time.
Bye.